Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here by Atak Sportz for this 420 edition of the Atak Sportz on Monday, April 20th, 2015. Everyone's doing good today, especially those who are getting high on 420. And how ironic, we would kick off this Atak Sportz edition on 420 with news on a former Bronco. Of course, Denver City, where weed is legal. Now, today, of course, the biggest thing in NFL, besides finding out that the regular season schedule will be unveiled tomorrow night. Philadelphia Eagles got themselves an backup quarterback. Of course, it's a guy who's not too shy, should I say, a little bit familiar with being a backup. Of course, referring to Tim Tebow. Yes, he's back in the NFL as the backup quarterback for Mark Sanchez, is now the new starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's been rumored for years like Tebow's been out of the scene ever since his horrible treatment. How ironic is this? Mark Sanchez and Tim Tebow are back on the same team again. They were on the Jets together during that ill-fated Jet spot for Tebow that ended his NFL career. And he was in the Pats for like a second. So now he's back in the NFL as a backup for the Eagles. Interesting. It's a 1-year contract. According to the Eagles statement, they say that in the sophomore season, Tebow tied for second among NFL quarterbacks with 6 game-winning drives in Denver to an AFC West title. I can't believe he even made the playoffs. I remember that whole season when he had that fluke season with the Denver Broncos. I was like, damn. And then here we are. Here he is back in the NFL. It's interesting to see Tebow, but I think he'll be a bench warmer yet again. You know, he's just hype in many people's eyes, in my eyes too. You know, I say I hope for the best for him, but it's just, I bet you'll be on the bench again, like usual. So there you go. NFL announces the schedule tomorrow, but news on Tim Tebow going back to the NFL as a backup for the Philadelphia Eagles. See if he plays anything. Unlike the last time he was with Sanchez on the Jets. Anyway, let's get on down with some fighting news. Before we get to wrestling, let's get to UFC. They had an event this past Saturday night, UFC Fight Night on Fox, which was, in my mind, probably one of the best Fox cards in a while. Pretty good card on the main card. Let's get down to the first fight in the women's strawweight division. We had Paige Van Zandt taking on Felice Herrig. Now, Felice had the early going in the first half of the first round, with great submission attempt. But then Paige Van Zandt went full-on, head-on attack mode during the later half of the first and, of course, the second and third. Very exciting fight. Not a lot of action when it comes to punching, but they were never stopping. It was non-stop movement. You know, they kept moving towards each other and kept trying to punch each other as best as their ability. It was a fun fight to kick off the card, with Paige winning after her come well in the first, and of course the dominance in the second and the third round. Pretty decent opener. Then we have Max Holloway in the featherweight division taking on Cub Swanson. A really good fight here. Probably my favorite fight of the night. It was this back and forth action, very good striking. It was kind of a striking contest at some point with some takedown attempts. It was very good action in that fight. Ending up with a Max Holloway submission in the third round with a guillotine choke. That was a nasty choke on Cub Swanson. It was a very great fight with a Max Holloway victory. Co-main, I call it like a squasher. Ronaldo Souza, Chuckaway, taking on Chris Camuzzi. Now, Ronaldo's in the top 5 ranking of the middleweight division. They should have had somebody good take on Ronaldo, not a jobber. It felt like a squash. This guy was outmatched. This guy's ass kicked in a submission. It didn't take that long at all. First round submission. Stupid fight, especially for your co-main. I knew this fight was only made 7 days in advance because the guy who was supposed to fight Chuckaway Souza, Yoel Romero, got injured days before the fight. But still, I know it was last minute, but it was stupid. Especially at the 2 other highest ranked middleweights in the main event, with Luke Rockhold taking on Lyoto Machida. Now, these guys are in the top 5, and I was hoping it was not going to be a fight not to lose fight, where guys just dance around each other, don't hit each other for shit. I think whoever gets the next shot should be Wildcard because he just destroyed Lyoto. And I have seen Lyoto fight so many times. I've never seen Lyoto get his ass handed to him so badly since losing the light heavyweight championship to Shogun. Luke just destroyed him in the first round. I think he should have won in the first round, in my opinion. Wildcard should have won in the first. Lyoto was lucky. He's lucky that he held on to go on to at least go to the second round, or the same would happen. He get his ass kicked in the second round as well. Leading up to the second round finish with a submission from Luke Wildcard because he couldn't finish Lyoto with the ground and pound. He had to finish him with submission in the second round. So these are fun main event, even though Wildcard just destroyed Lyoto. In my mind, deserves the next shot at whoever is the middleweight champion if Weidman stays injury-free for his fight against Victor Belfort at UFC 187. Because this Saturday is UFC 186, which I hope is not terrible because of the odds already taking some damage. With no Rampage, and Barrow, and Dylan shows out with the main event being Mighty Mouse. So there you go. Now, before we get to Raw, let's get to TNA. Impact Wrestling happened this past Friday night. They had, of course, the Tag Team Gold themed episode to determine the new tag team champions since the Wolves got injured. Well, one of them got injured. Forced to forfeit the titles. We had four qualifying matches leading up to the Ultimate X Fatal 4-Way. With the Hardys taking the first fight over the Revolution. I think all the qualifying matches were very short because they knew Ultimate X would be very long. So Hardys qualified, taking over their match against the Revolution. McCoy getting his ass kicked from James Storm after losing. Then we had the team of EC3 and Bram getting a little help from Tyrus to get the victory over Spud. Mr. Anderson and Mark Spud to qualify. The Bowmans with their dissension lost to Aries and Rude. While the BDC got their victory over Tigre Uno and another Mexican superstar, I forgot his name. So those will be 4 teams that Ultimate next. Low Key and Kenny King. The Hardys, Wood and Aries, and EC3 and Bram. Very good Ultra Next match. It was a very fun match with the ladder being used. I wish there was more weapons though, besides the ladder, but still, it was a very fun Ultra Next match. Leading up to the Hardys, winning the TNA World Tag Team titles for the very first time. Great to see them finally get the TNA goal. Because they've been WWE champions, WCW Tag Team champions doing the invasion thing. And now the TNA World Tag Team champions. That's cool to see Hardys win. If it's not the Wolves, it's the Hardys. They've been still putting on good matches lately in TNA. Against the Wolves, and the great series of matches with the Wolves and Team 3D when they were still in the company. Setting up for this upcoming Friday, it's all about the knockouts. Even though we got Kurt Angle taking on Eric Young, probably a new Eric Young, because he's not as psychotic as he used to be, but we shall see what Eric Young will fight Kurt Angle this week. It's all about the knockouts. With the main event being Taylor Terrell taking on Awesome Kong for the TNA Knockouts title. It should be no DQ, but I think Kong will win this time. Also, call for a number of contenders match for the next shot. Angelina Love, Gail, Kim, Brooke, and Madison Wayne will face off in a fatal 4-way. Mickey James will determine her future. I think she already revealed it on Facebook. And also the Dollhouse makes their debut with those weird vignette videos we've been seeing lately. See how they do on Impact this Friday on Destination America at 9. Now the WWE Raw tonight back in the good old US of A after the UK trip. And the last one before Extreme Rules, they got a lot to cover. These are going to add more matches and more steps heading towards the pay-per-view this Sunday. Let's get on down to top 4 questions that must be answered tonight. Let's get on down with some Extreme Rules. Will Paige make it to her Divas title match this Sunday? That's question number 4 now. Paige won a Battle Royal to determine the number 1 contendership for the Divas Championship this past Monday on Raw in her home country of England. But Naomi, who I think should have got the shot instead, beat the crap out of Paige, following the match, signaling a heel turn. They're saying on WWE.com that Paige is storyline injured and cannot compete. It's not cleared. They're winding her out because she's making a movie. So that leaves the number 1 contendership in flux. As right now, Paige is scheduled to face off against Nikki Bella. We may get some more news concerning that match tonight. If Paige will still wrestle, and if not, who will take her spot? Maybe Naomi. We shall see. Question number 3. Who will be the one to use the Miz name? Now, Miz and Mizdow have had a little feud lately. This should have been a lot better. I hope Mizdow gets, well, we'll see. Because Mizdow have been trading victories by cheating. Now tonight, the women match, that should have been Extreme Rules, will determine who gets to keep the Miz name. Whoever loses will no longer be Miz. I think Miz will probably win this one. Because I think it's time for Mizdow to once again be Damien Sandow and not Mizdow. But I hope he does something out of this. So, hope they book him better than they have been lately. Question number 2. Will there be any new matches or steps added to the matches at Extreme Rules? Now, some were added over the weekend, including Roman Reigns against Big Show in the Last Man Standing match. That should have been Cena and Rusev stipulation. But I hope this is the last match between these two. And also Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler. That should have been a great better stipulation. Like a street fight or something is a kiss my ass match. Or in other words, kiss my ass. Really? We're going to the comedian route with these two? Especially when Sheamus is trying to play a hard heel and all? Come on, guys. Should have done a better stip than that. We know Cena and Rusev in a chain match. Orton and Rollins in a steel cage with the RKO band. I think Curb Stomp might be banned too, I'm hearing. But we shall see. And Daniel Bryan and Vandy's band, IC title, that should be a stipulation. That should be like best 2 out of 3 falls or something. They should add a stip to that match too. And a new match for the pre-show and many more. And a tag team title match between Lucha Dragons and Kid and Cesaro should be added too. And don't let it be the pre-show match, please. We don't want a tag team title match being relegated to the pre-show again like it was at Mania. So there you go. Now, question number 1. We'll go down with the Authority returning tonight. Now, Triple H and 70 are scheduled to make their on-screen return tonight following a 2-week hiatus. Triple H was going to make an announcement of Tough Enough, which he did on the internet. Of course, the new season of Tough Enough, even with all his new NXT people, will start June 23rd. We don't know who's the host yet. It's not Austin. We know that. But Triple H may have to address the situation involving Seth Rollins and the Authority. Tensions building, specifically between Seth Rollins and Kane. We saw Seth fight Kane with Kane laying down for him. We've seen the scenes planned for the last couple of weeks with tension between Kane and Rollins. We'll see if Triple H tries to settle it by mending defenses or letting Kane go. We shall see what happens tonight on Raw at 8/7 Central on USA Network. That is it for my Atak Sportz for today. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for my Raw review tonight. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the sports news from Zach. See you all later. Yeah.